Right, well, it's time for the annual air filter check. Now, if you've been following me, you'll remember that I put a K&N filter in this a couple of years ago now. Now, I'm actually cheating a little bit today because I have taken this out, cleaned it and re-oiled it actually a week ago, and I didn't film it, and I figured maybe I should. So one big difference you'll notice with this from my previous film is there used to be, or there was, a big dirty oily stain up here where the crankcase breather, which is there, the original one, curls out of the top of the crankcase, goes through what's basically a wire. It's like a wire mesh filter. Then there's another pipe comes up out the top of that and goes into there, which I've bunged off, and recycles your crankcase vapors. And it left a big old dirty stain across me air filter. So that's why I decided to route a crankcase breather to atmosphere, so that now goes from the crankcase and out the back of the bike by the tail light. Now, as you can see, the filter is not got one big dirty stain on it. It's decent and clean. It's worked a treat all throughout its time. I take it out once a year. I used to take it out more frequently with the original filter. With the K&N filter, I take it out every summer in the middle of when I'm riding the bike the most, and I just check for dirt and filth and muck. And because it's a reusable filter, I just clean it down in petrol and let it dry, let all that vaporize, and then re-oil it with, actually I think it might be Silkaline filter oil. It's in an aerosol can, but you can use whatever filter oil you like. I didn't use K&N because I don't have any, but you just put oil on it, and that helps to glue any little bits up and stop them getting through, because they're actually a little bit more open. Reusable filters are. Now, while I'm here actually, one thing, it's a bit of a myth this is, but a lot of people say remove the snorkel. Underneath there, or underneath your original side panel, there's a snorkel, which is this thing here, which goes into the input side of your air filter. Now that thing is it's just an open pipe. I don't think that's a restriction myself, and I very nearly, when I put these side panels on, I very nearly bored a hole in the side there and fitted it so it was on the outside, but I just figured this bit, the snorkel bit, would just get in the way and I'd clout it with my leg, so I deleted it altogether. But that's completely open. There's no gauze in there, no mesh in there, nothing. So that's going to make, to my mind, no difference whatsoever to your ability to suck air in through your air filter. I've got cat assistance going on here. So actually, I'll show you what I've done now. What would normally happen is you would end up with a hole in the side of your air filter box, which I ran with for quite a long time before I did another modification, which you never see because it's tucked away underneath these side panels. Now, these are just, you'll see how I attach these side panels. I have done a film on that in the past as well. Right, swap hands with the camera. It's always difficult doing these things when you're trying to hold a camera and film stuff. 8mm nylon cap heads. Side panel is just a piece of polycarbonate, and that's how I attach it. A thicker piece of polycarbonate attached to the original side panel mounting points. Right, now what I've done is, you can see that there, that is actually a Minimoto pod filter. Now I don't oil that, it's pretty straight through, it's a very open thing, but it stops insects, seed pods, big things getting into the input side of the filter. So I've just put that in there. The snorkel would normally go in the hole that fits in, and stick on. Both cats are having an argument now. Well, dear me. Stop arguing, you two. Right, yeah, that would normally go in there, and the snorkel part sticks out here, and your original side panels, they're slightly more bulbous than my replacements, and that sits on the inside. So in actual fact, I've probably restricted that input slightly more than the original by putting that on there, but it makes no difference. I'm not starving the bike of air. It's not spluttering or suffering in any way, shape or form. And now, as you could see from the filter, it is actually preventing any beetles or seed pods or anything else like that getting in there. So that's sort of, I suppose it's double filtered, but there's plenty of flow there, and the engine is not being starved of air in any way, shape or form. You can actually see, while I've got that side panel off, you can see the routing of my bespoke crankcase breather, which goes underneath there, underneath that filter or the inlet hole, goes up there, follows the frame around, and then exits right next to the tail light. That's kind of old school, how we used to do it years ago. So any vapor, any crap, anything else just gets thrown out the back of the bike. And I've got a clean number plate, so not very much in the way of crap does get thrown out of the bike. Now what used to happen as well quite frequently was they would run pipes from your crankcase breather, wherever that may be on the crankcase, and they would go down between the back of the gearbox and the swing arm pivot, and they dangle down the bottom near your centre stand. Well, it's a bit more cluttered, this bike, because there's an ABS pump down there. There's also an expansion tank for my coolant, so things are a bit tight down there. As such, there's not room to run, certainly not a big pipe like that down there, so that's why I've run it up there out of the way. Okay, so I'm quite pleased with that. That was one modification that did the trick. Worked well, is continuing to work well, and the big advantage of that, to my mind, is it's approximately twice the price of a paper filter. A K&N filter is approximately twice the price of a paper filter, but it lasts forever. All you do is whip it out every year, give it a quick clean, re-oil it, pop it back in, and off you go. So after a couple of years, you've broken even. After that, you're in the money because you're not buying a filter every year. Although it's a mileage-based thing, but I'm more inclined to replace filters annually because the thing gets an oil filter change every year. If I'm not running with K&N air filters, I change those every year. Fuel filters on my CCM, I change the fuel filter every year. I just do it at a habit because filters aren't stupidly expensive. But if you can replace them with a reusable one, a washable and reusable one, then you're just saving yourself a few pennies here and there now and then. So that's it for this one. Give me a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe, and tell your mates. And I'll be back soon. Not sure what the next one's going to be. I've got a couple of custom shows I'm going to. I might just be riding around and rambling. Who knows? But I'll be back soon, so take care.